Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about miniature horses in Portland public school classrooms and why one Portland EMT's fight against cameras in ambulances has gotten national attention. Plus, we have a family-friendly guide to Seaside, Oregon. I'm your host, Claudia Meza, and joining me today are Willamette Week Arts and Culture reporter Rachel Saslow and our very own senior producer, Julia Fiaioni. Hello, friends. How's it going?
Hello. Good morning.
Good. How are you?
Not bad, Rachel. It's been a little bit since you've been on last. I'm glad to have you back on.
Yeah, good to be here.
Julia, I wish I could see less of every day. Just joking.
Yeah, same.
I'm joking.
Yikes, I've wandered into some weird office dynamics.
Welcome to the show.
Oh my God. I love my child producer. Okay. Per usual, I will be kicking things off with an opening question so any new listeners can get to know our guests a little better. And today, I'm going to be talking about service animals at school. And here's why. Very recently, Portland Public Schools sent an email to families clarifying that a service animal is a dog or a miniature horse. Nothing else, nothing more. And of course, pretty much every family responded with, I'm sorry, what now? Why are we getting this email? Because miniature horses are not a very popular service animal for children or adults with disabilities. In fact, a PPS spokesperson confirmed there are currently 0 mini horses being used as service animals at any of their schools, bringing us back to why families are confused as to why they're even getting this email. And PPS responded by just saying, hey, man, we're just trying to make sure everyone knows, okay? That's all. I don't know what to tell you. We want to make sure everyone's properly accommodated. Get off our backs. So all of this piqued Julia Silverman's interest. That's the education reporter over at the Oregonian. And she just dug in a little deeper. She's like, if I'm going to employ a miniature horse as a service animal, what would that entail? She found out that the service animals could grow as tall as 34 inches and weigh up to 100 pounds, which is about the size of a trim Great Dane. That's her comparison. They can also be trained to not poop or pee indoors and are noted for their keen eyesight, which is helpful for the visually impaired. I'm assuming you just got to keep their bangs trimmed because whenever I see a mini horse, they just, do you know what I'm talking, like they got that hair and it's like going on. Yeah.
Yes.
Though she noted that in the fine print, students are prohibited from riding their mini horse to class. According to the district's recently updated policy, horseback riding, pony rides, donkey basketball, and the like remain strictly prohibited. So you learn something new every day. All of this brings me back to my question. If you had the power to choose one more service animal to be added to the Portland Public Schools approved list, what would it be? For example, I would want a Canadian goose because I think it would deter bullying.
Oh my God. That's a crazy take.
No, could you imagine one of those little assholes as your personal chaperone,
They're
Julia?
the worst.
Hallways would be cleared. I'm just saying, if I can't see too good, get out of my way. And here's my goose. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys?
Mine's a little bit more normie. I feel like I would want a napping cat on my lap all day at school just for like emotional regulation. I feel like that sounds like the perfect service animal that is not currently on the PPS list. Can I just say one thing about this this story that Julia did, though? I'm a PPS mom.
Okay.
So when that email came out, my group chat, the mom group chat lit up. Like we were, like everybody was texting each other about like the miniature horse thing. So I was really excited to see it covered in print.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that everyone texted Julia too, and they're just like, can you believe this email?
Yeah, like what does this mean? Please decipher this for us. And she did. And she did it in such a fun, tongue-in-cheek way, like the trim Great Dane and all. I don't know. I felt like she had a nice touch with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like the title of her article was, hey, did you know, Hay, by the way, mini horses can be service animals. It's just like, okay. Julia had fun with this one.
She did. She's on summer vacation too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's great. I am obsessed with the visual of a bunch of kiddos walking around with mini horses. I think it's perfect. I don't want to change anything about it, but I do have a dream of people being more accepting of snakes, hear me out. When I was young, I had a middle school boyfriend who had a boa constrictor.
This just gets worse and worse.
Very regularly, we would get together and do homework. And I would have this boa constrictor wrapped around my arm while I was doing like division. Chillest guy, sweetest experience. I dream about it still. I think there's an opportunity there. So that would be my pick.
Julie, I need you to know.
Did it start constricting on your arm?
Yeah, we immediately went at it.
Questions, actually.
It does, but in a playful way. I don't know if you'll trust me when I say that, but yes, it's an interesting relationship. I think it has depth.
Yeah, I need you to know that PPS already responded to you, and they said, hell no.
I know. It's specifically not on the list of service animals, but maybe someday.
Yeah, they literally list boa constrictor not.
No boa constrictors.
I'm not even joking. It is literally listed as do not bring this to school.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Thank you both for your answers. Before we jump to break, I just wanted to remind everyone that we'd love for you to take our annual listener survey. It's only about 7 minutes long, and it helps us learn what you want from the show, how we can better serve our city. The link is in the show notes, but you can also head over to citycast.fm/survey. And when you take it, you'll be entered to win a $250 Visa gift card, as well as some pretty cool merch. Again, link in the show notes, or just head over to citycast.fm/survey. Thank you so much. All right, when we come back, Julia is going to tell us about the cameras being installed in ambulances that are recording patients without their knowledge. Here's to Oregon businesses, to making things here and serving our neighbors. SAFE, that's SAIF, is on your side whether you're a plumber in Portland, a builder in Bend, or a roaster in Roseburg. They're a nonprofit that for over 100 years have provided safety resources to avoid injuries at your job. Their workers' comp that really works. Learn more at SAIF.com. That's SAIF.com. So I had no idea there were cameras in ambulances, and it seems like we're only learning about it now because an EMT got fired for turning them off. What's going on? I know that you dug into and even did some like on the field reporting.
Yes. Allegedly, this is the case. So I'm digging into some reporting by Amy Green at the Oregonian, and they are talking about a former Portland area EMT's fight against these cameras in ambulances. Specifically, like you said, cameras that are pointed at patients, allegedly without their consent. So Brittany Martin is a former emergency medical technician for Metro West. This is a privately owned company, actually headquartered in Hillsborough. And she's filing an $800,000 lawsuit against her former employer, alleging that she was fired for protecting patient privacy. Basically, she says Metro West decided to start putting cameras in the backs of their ambulances around the end of last year, the start of this year, where patients receive treatment, but never informed patients that they were being recorded. And this is kind of how it went down. So she said a Metro West manager emailed employees about the cameras in late 2025, saying it was a quote unquote test phase and that there was no audio, just video. And then fast forward in February of 2026, Martin ended up working in an ambulance with the cameras, and she believed that they were also recording audio. Both her and her coworker were concerned about patient privacy. They told their supervisors days later. Martin decided to cover the cameras for the audio and the visual. And then a few days after, Martin was put on administrative leave and fired shortly after. So zooming out a little bit, recording patients in ambulances is very rare, but is becoming more common because of lawsuits. Another part of this is that body cameras being worn by EMTs and paramedics is also becoming more common, especially out east in New York City and Virginia. So I actually went and spoke to a friend of mine who's a paramedic for a different company in Portland about their take on this. But before I share theirs, I really want to ask the both of you if you would feel comfortable being recorded. I feel like this is not an obvious black and white issue. I can see a lot of folks being somewhere in the middle. So I want to hear your takes first.
My gut, when I read this article, my gut was no, there should not be cameras in the back of ambulances because you have an expectation of privacy in that situation. And also, it's one of the most vulnerable. If you're in the back of an ambulance, something's gone really wrong and you're in a really physically and probably emotionally vulnerable place. So my gut was no. But then I read the article and I started seeing it from, there are a lot of different angles. And I did end up feeling kind of swayed, like you would want to have, an official record if something did go wrong. It could ultimately protect you as a patient. There's that possibility. Anyway, it ended up being a lot more nuanced than I was expecting when I started looking at the issue. Claudia, what about you?
Well, immediately I was like, if they asked, maybe, because to me, I know it's really there to save the company from lawsuits, but I think it also could be there for the patient. You do actually hear about patients sometimes being assaulted. I mean, this is so rare. This is like almost, never. But there are stories. And then I think this is where we're at. It's like, this is such a good debate. And that's why there should be policy around it. And right now, I don't think there is. And I think that's the whole issue, is that this is something new. And I think a company just going ahead and going, we're just going to do this and not tell anyone is a little out of pocket there.
It's startling. Yeah. And I'll talk a little bit more about that like national perspective in a moment. But so I did speak to my paramedic friend, and she said that the company that she works for only uses cameras in the front of the ambulance to make sure medical workers aren't texting while driving. And then there are cameras outside of the vehicle for safety issues. And these things have been standard for like a decade. This is not anything new. And her thoughts on Metro West using cameras to record patients, she said it's quote unquote sketchy, which obviously caught my ear, but that if she was in this situation and she got fired by Metro West, she would consider it a blessing, which really made me curious about the reputation that Metro West specifically has amongst medical workers, because ultimately it sounds like maybe there is a reason why they are specifically moving in this direction quicker than other paramedic companies in Portland. Again, this is all anecdotal, but it does make me wonder. The big question is here, is this even legal? And like Claudia said, it's really not exactly clear, but there is one attorney, Benjamin Barr, who is quoted in the Oregonian article that really does think that it is illegal, and that this is because recording people in Oregon has some of the strictest laws nationwide. So it would make more sense for it to be illegal than legal. And my paramedic friend said that maybe it is legal if the footage is actually HIPAA protected, because that's a whole other side of it, right? HIPAA is a federal patient privacy law. And if the actual contents of the recordings was protected, then maybe that's what makes it legal and makes Metro West decide that we're just going to do this. But all around, state and federal law on this is not clear. That's why this lawsuit could have pretty severe national consequences. And in the meantime, there's also another perspective from a paramedic in the story that said, you know what, this actually makes me feel really good, because there are so many instances of accusations being made on one side or another, and it's really reassuring to have that evidence. But it makes me kind of queasy, because it does immediately make me think of law enforcement. And from there, it makes me think about like the intentions of the medical worker and like how people are being trained. Like maybe this is more of a training issue with Metro West than anything else, that they're feeling like they need to do this. I feel like the priorities should be there. The money should be spent there than on camera equipment in these ambulances. But the lawsuit was filed in June. It's in the Multnomah County Circuit Court. There's obviously going to be a lot of conversation around this because it has such big consequences. But I am really, really curious what the outcome of this one is, because it's a big one.
Yeah. Again, just to underline, Metro West is doing this because they want to avoid lawsuits. And so that's
of course
basically what they're doing. It's not, any other speculation is like, that's unfounded. I think people have been, reaching out to them being like, let's talk. And they're like, no, there's a lawsuit going on. I'm not talking. But I am curious, like listeners out there, like especially any listener who has been in an ambulance, like if they had told you before you got in, hey, we record for the safety of everyone, would you have been cool with it? I'm just curious. Like, would you guys have been cool? Like, Julia, Rachel, I don't know if you've ever been in an ambulance. I have. And like, if they told me, hey, and that's how they said it, like, we're recording this for your safety and ours, I'd have been like, okay. But then comes the question for those who are incapacitated, for those who are having a mental breakdown. You know what I mean? There's so many things where you're like, you can't legally give that thumbs up, you know?
I don't know if it's the majority, but a lot of ambulance situations, you would not be able to consent either way because you're either unconscious or you're in mental distress or you are in so much pain, you like don't even understand what they're asking. So the consent question I get really hung up on that too.
I know. And they were even discussing like the possibility of whether or not it makes it okay if there are signs posted inside the vehicle
that you can't read because you're passed out.
And I'm like, who's reading if they're getting thrown into an ambulance? It sounds crazy. But there was another detail in this story that a similar type of thing's happening in emergency rooms because there have been like an increase in violent interactions in ERs that medical workers are starting to wear body cameras there too, which is just... all of this just feels so nightmarish. I know it's a lawsuit thing. I know people are trying to protect themselves, but yeah, that's my take on it.
It's just like, what a nightmare.
This is
just like nauseous.
I love it. Oh, wow. Have you guys ever been in the back of an ambulance?
Thankfully, no.
Once in college.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't need any more detail.
I was like, oh,
Rachel, I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't gonna dive in further. I was just curious if anyone has actually had experience. You know.
Yeah. There's no way I could have consented either way.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, Rachel has a family-friendly guide to Seaside. We're in peak berry season, and Grand Central Bakery, on top of their delicious hand pies and muffins, is debuting their brown butter almond tart with fresh strawberries, which sounds delicious. It has a butterscotchy shortbread base with rich almond cream baked into the crust and is topped with sweet local berries. They're sourcing them from Unger Farms, a fourth-generation family farm in Washington County, and the wheat for the flour is from Chimacum Valley Granary, which uses regenerative practices promoting healthy soil. All of their baking is, of course, done in-house, and Grand Central Bakery has been operating locally and independently since 1989. That's longer than our senior producer, Julia Fiorioni, has been alive. Now, you know we don't get to decide when the berry season ends, so you're going to want to try these tarts soon before they're gone. You can order online at grandcentralbakery.com or in person at any of their 8 neighborhood locations. Rachel, you brought us a family-friendly guide to Seaside. If we have time afterwards, I would love your non-family-friendly guide.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What are you asking for?
try.
If we have time. Hey, look, no press. All right, Rachel, lay it on us.
Okay.
Family-friendly guide first.
Okay, so Willamette Week put out a guide to Oregon summer, and I did a piece about going to Seaside with your family, and I ranked all of the attractions in Seaside from like, is this good for little kids? Is it good for school age kids? And how is it for the parents? No one ever talks about this in like family and parenting journalism. People are always like, oh, the kids are going to love this. It's so perfect for 5-year-olds or 10-year-olds. No one talks about the parent misery. So parents, I see you, and I keep it very real about how miserable you will or will not be doing these activities with your children. So I technically went to Seaside for this article for 1 day of reporting, but really this article is built on 40 plus years of going to Seaside as a kid and then now with my family. It's really like a whole lifetime of knowledge, guys, because Seaside doesn't really change a ton, right? Like the aquarium is still right where it was when we were little. And I mean, some of the restaurants have changed, but like The candy store is still the candy store. The rides are still identical and honestly don't look like they've been cleaned since the 90s either. So
Just say FYI, Rachel, this guide right now is not going well. You're not selling Seaside in the slightest.
I'm sold.
Okay, well, Seaside, it's sort of the Coney Island of the West. Like, have you guys been? It's sort of like
I love Seaside.
Seaside, it's like the most obvious beach pick. It's the closest from Portland. It's exactly west. And you get there and it's like boardwalk, candy stores, little rides, ocean, arcades, tons of arcades. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually, for what it is, it's really fun. Especially if you have childhood core memories that go with it. There's a carousel in the mall. This is good for the little kids, but school kids and parents, it's probably a skip, to be honest. Right. I mean, it's a cute little carousel, but it's just the carousel in the mall. Seaside Aquarium, actually, we did a rating system of 1 to 5 starfish, and Seaside Aquarium, I gave 3 starfish for each group. So this hits all 3 groups of enjoyment. It's really small. It's like tiny, tiny. It takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes, but the highlight is a sea anemone and starfish touch tank where you can put your finger in
my favorite
in the little anemones, then they don't like it with their little stingers.
They're not doing that for fun, guys. They're like,
I know they don't like it.
Your finger out of my face. Okay, go on.
The guides there say it's fine. So,
well, then we're good
there at the Seaside Aquarium. It doesn't smell good. It's small. It's dark. For some reason, it's still got 3 stars. I love it.
Guide is amazing.
Next was people watching on the boardwalk, which in Seaside, the locals call it the prom, like the promenade. Anyway, this is fun for, I have always thought that Seaside has some of the best people watching in all of Oregon because you get a huge amount of diversity from like all different places in the state, all different socioeconomic classes, all different ages, and they're in beach apparel. So they're wearing kind of like irreverent t-shirts and like funny hats. And I really can't recommend people watching in Seaside highly enough. So that got 3 stars also for all 3 groups. For the little kids, there's a bubble artist, like, the guys who make the bubbles? huge soap bubbles. And that's pretty mesmerizing for the little ones.
For the little ones, for me, I love bubble artists.
Yes. He was using just huge equipment. It was very fun. Okay. Candy stores I rated them very highly for little kids and school kids. It got only 1 star for parents.
Why is that?
So there's a saying, like a kid in a candy store. You know this saying, you've always heard it, you have a vague idea of what it means, but until you become a parent and go to a candy store with a young child, you don't realize what you are stepping into. It is so miserable, you guys. You have to have a game plan before you go. Like, you have to work out a deal with your kid, how much money you're going to spend, what type of thing you can get. It always ends in them crying almost every single time. It is so deeply miserable. And that might make me a really unfun mom. I don't know what it means, but I hate going to candy stores with my kids. Honestly, almost as much as going to the candy aisle at like a 7-Eleven on a road trip is really hard too. So that got really low stars for parents.
Did you get anything though when you were in there?
PTSD, it sounds like.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I got this stuff called Seafoam, which is old-fashioned molasses honeycomb covered in either milk or dark chocolate. And I had never had that before. Have you had that?
No, but it sounds awesome.
Old-fashioned honeycomb? Oh, I love that. That's basically like that Australian bar. It's called like Violet something. Violet Crumble.
This is an entirely new confection to me. It was so good. Highest rated thing on my list is the actual Pacific Ocean. Please do not go to the beach and do not put your feet in the ocean. Please do not. You have
1 star.
You have to put your toes in the ocean.
You gotta.
It's just so obvious. I did deduct 1 star for parents because of how much stuff we have to carry. It's a lot of sunscreen, towels, snacks. It's a lot. As a parent, it's a lot of work.
What about food? Where'd you guys eat?
I just ate all the candy, guys. I didn't eat anywhere in Seaside.
This guide is something else, Rachel. I gotta tell you,
It's very real. I'm appreciating this.
She's
as
appreciating
someone
it?
without kids.
yeah.
As a child producer myself, I'm appreciating
As a
this.
child producer. Rachel, that's a running joke is that Julia is a child and she works on the show. And unfortunately, sometimes people fall for it and we get emails. One for like
"Why?
encouraging
It's
her to
not legal."
drink. Yeah, they're like, don't tell her to drink. And it's just so funny. And it's just made us do it even
I'm
more.
sadly almost 30. You know what, Claudia? I actually have a couple adult picks for your
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
request
I
at
love
the
it.
top.
Go on.
I don't remember the name of this bar, but at the start of the promenade, there is a fully the outside of the bar is like fully covered in wood. There's no windows except from the backside where you can see a view of the guy who's usually doing bubbles. So you can grab a beer, you can sit down. It's great. There's also pool tables. You'll know it when you see it. So I would recommend going there if you're going to go to the promenade. Also, I have a recommendation for where to stay in Seaside if you're going on like a little couples trip. It's called Estrella Suites. Great spot. Centrally located, like a block away, walking distance from the beach. Last thing on my list, this can go kids or adults. I would go to Painted Rock Beach and bring painting supplies to paint your own rock. So there's a small area on the south end of Seaside. It's on the map. You can find it there, where they have this small area that's like covered in rocks that are painted in all these like little fun designs, all different kinds of folks you could tell painted them from kids to adults. I think that would be just like such a fun activity for everybody if you brought paint, maybe your own rocks, and
Rachel,
left them there.
you should put that in your guide. That's a good
Okay,
one.
so this sounds like a much higher end guide than the one I have written. Mine is my guide is very dumb and obvious. Like literally,
It's real. It's like a diary. I love it.
Yeah. You just
You guys-
you basically had an okay day at Seaside, and you're like, let's publish it, and I love it.
Well,
and I
it's
love
like, it's just very real. It's like you're gonna go to
Yeah, it's
Seaside. Your
perfect.
little kids are gonna want to do this,
It's true.
and
It's
this.
true.
How bad is it gonna be? Yeah, I actually have never. I don't think I've really been to Seaside without either being in like my family of origin or now as the mom. So
Yeah.
the idea of like being there just on a couples trip or even like getting to go to a bar is pretty unheard
different.
of for me. Yeah. So that's a whole different perspective I actually don't even know.
Yeah.
You're like, if only I could.
Someday.
I'm glad Seaside is getting some shine. I feel like for a while, and you can confirm or deny, Rachel, locals considered it Cannon Beach's methier cousin.
Oh, for sure.
But when I last visited, there was like an international volleyball tournament happening on the beach. There was a lovely beachside boardwalk, which I didn't remember. I feel like they really like spruced it up. Like it's really nice now.
I mean, this whole article is written with so much affection for Seaside. I really do appreciate it for what it is, you know, and I think maybe that's why I wasn't looking for like a higher end experience. Like I wanted to really like do the thing that it is kind of known for. And it was so fun to write too.
Yeah.
I wasn't really expecting it would just be like such a delight to write.
Julia, I know you've mentioned that part of the beach before, the rocks. It sounds lovely. We have a contributor, Eden Dawn, who also talked about the arcade, because I guess there is a very old-fashioned game there called like...
It's called Fascination.
Fascination.
Yes.
Yes, this is in the article too.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
just went off about how like interesting that game is and how like you don't have to be a kid. It's just like you just go in and you play Fascination. And I'm like, now I want to play it. So for those without kids that don't want to be tortured, there's plenty of stuff to do at Seaside. And also it's like literally 30 or 40 minutes away from like Cannon Beach or literally any other little coastal area. So get to the coast this summer. I feel like not enough people are going to the coast, and I don't understand why. It is right there, and it is absolutely beautiful.
And it's so much cooler than the city. Like
Yeah.
it drops by like 10 or 20 degrees. So we have a heat wave coming up. It's just such an easy way to get relief.
Well, Rachel, we're going to link to your article in our show notes. As always, it's been a pleasure to host you both. Before we head out, though, I do have some shout outs from members in our Portland CityCast Neighbors program. One of the perks of being a member is the opportunity to shout out a local business or organization that you love. And we do this about once a week. Julia, you want to kick us off?
Yes. I have one here from listener Stephen S. that says, Hoplandia on Interstate in North Portland is a fun new bar that just opened up and has a great atmosphere, free popcorn, and one of the largest TVs in Portland, which I am trying to imagine how big this TV is. But they suggest going there to watch the World Cup, and they love this new spot. I would suggest it too because, my God, Prost is way too packed for these games. It's insane. Okay. It's become like the hub for the World Cup. Find another spot. It sounds like Hoplandia is the place to go. I'm getting territorial now. Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, well, here's another one from Sherry B that says, the chai flight at Pip's Donuts and Chai is one of the funnest and coolest things in Portland, maybe the world. They claim it's the only place in the world to get homemade donuts and a chai flight and a fun squirrel bar for us gluten-free folks. What's a squirrel bar?
I don't know.
It's like a granola bar, but it's gluten-free. I had to look it up too because I was like, there's a bar for squirrels? That's where my mind went.
I know,
took
and
it
it's
really
gluten-free? And I was like, I don't understand why
like,
it has to be.
My search history is like, bar
Can
for
squirrels not eat bread? Like, what is going on? Oh, got it. Gotcha. That's what they call it for the granolas. Got it. Okay. Shout out to Stephen and Sherry, and a special thank you to Tina BQ, Stephanie S, Kirk F, and Andrea P for becoming CityCast Portland neighbors this week. When you join as a neighbor, we'd also be happy to read your shout outs of places you love. You also get a bunch of other perks like ad-free listening and invites to member-only events. For example, we are going to be hosting a pickles night this coming Tuesday.
July 21st.
July 21st,
yeah.
Yes. I'll be throwing out the first pitch. I feel like I saw Portland Mercury Jeremiah Hayden throw out the first pitch, and he did a really good job. So I got competition.
Oh, yeah, you got to start practicing.
Because I did it last year, and I practiced really hard, and then I realized that my cousin was just trying to teach me how to throw a fastball, and I'm like, I'm not that guy. Like, I just want the ball to reach the guy with the glove. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, he was totally just like, for our family honor, and I was like, dude, like, I just drink some beer.
That's some cousin shit.
That is some cousin shit. If you want to meet my cousin, he's going to be there. So is my sister and my nephew and my niece. This is crazy.
Fun.
They're all counting on you.
They're all driving up and they're all counting on me. I better not screw this up. So yeah, July 21st, that's Tuesday. It's the, what's the theme night?
Napoleon Dynamite themed? How could you forget?
I forgot. That's
it's
my
Napoleon
favorite
Dynamite
movie.
themed.
Yeah, it's Julie's favorite
and
movie.
And they're going to have themed merch, so catch me at that merch booth.
Oh, man. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys. A pleasure, Rachel, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. Our production team this week was John Atariani, Julie Fiaioni, Rachel Monahan, Jesse Wiza, and myself. Original music by Jenny Conley and Steven Drizos, and additional music by All the Kimonos. Our ad music is by Sven Lindvall and Sarah the Instrumentalist from Epidemic Sounds via Getty Images. We'll be back Monday morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's. Or at a candy store in Seaside where Rachel will be in the corner crying.